recitation From Sea to Shining Sea. During the program, using narration, songs, and quotes, we will tell you some of the main events in the United States history and what was happening in our community in Temecula at the same time. To begin our program, we will sing America the Beautiful. Scientists believe that Native Americans from North and South America came from Asia. Long ago, there was a way to get to the Americas on a land bridge over what is now called the Bering Strait. They believe the natives crossed the land bridge and groups of people settled in different places such as valleys, plains, deserts, and mountains. Each group had to learn to meet the needs for food, shelter, and clothing in different ways. This ability to change one environment is called adaptation. The Native Americans who settled in Temecula were hunters and gatherers. They collected acorns and made a mush called leawish.
Hunting made up only a small part of their diet. They wore little or no clothes. When they did wear clothes, it was for protection from the cold.
The Native Americans who lived in this area had three types of shelters they built from the natural resources found here. The shelters were the case, the ramada, and the pit house. They were religious people who only believed in one God. They believed he would reward them if they were good and punish them if they were bad. If they were really bad, he might send earthquakes or years of no rain. Many people wonder how Temecula got its name. One legend is that an Indian chief, Nahagish, stood on a hill looking down at our valley. He named it Temecula, which means sun shining through the mist. In 1620, the Pilgrims arrived from England. They came to the New World because they wanted religious freedom. Who came seeking freedom of worship no longer wanted to be a part of England. They didn't like the king's laws or manner of enforcing them. They fought back when the king sent soldiers trying to make them obey. This was the beginning of our Revolutionary War. Here is a voice from the past explaining some of the feelings of the time.
I am Thomas Jefferson. I wrote these famous words in the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they were endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
America won its independence from England. The new country continued to grow. People with many different beliefs and backgrounds came to America.
The Temecula Valley was a part of Mexico during this time. Mexico was under the Spanish rule. In 1797, Juan Norberto y Santiago came to this valley looking for a site on which to build a mission outpost for San Juan Capistrano. He was the first European to see this valley. He did not build a mission here. Later, Father Pavey from Santos Spring mission met the Native Americans of the Native Americans became mission Indians, and their way of life has changed forever. Things changed again for the Native Americans of Temecula. Just as the colonists wanted to be rid of the English rule, the Mexicans wanted to be rid of the Spanish rule. In 1821, Mexico won her independence from Spain. Brave people, the last Mexican government of California and Washington, and several souls or gave away the names to individual Mexicans. They did this so the Mexicans would hold on to the land and the United States of America went to war over the land and Mexico lost. The Native Americans who had become Mission Indians no longer had a place to live.
Daniel Boone began the Wilderness Road, which led settlers across the Appalachian Mountains and settled Canada.
Always searching for more land or new experiences, Americans built immigrant trails along which people moved from one area to another. The Southern Immigrant Trail was a route that passed through Temecula and then went through Los Angeles to San Francisco.
Oh, don't you remember sweet Bessie from Pike? She crossed the wide prairies with her husband Ike, with 2 yoke oxen and old yellow dog, a tall Shanghai rooster and 1 spotted hawk. Too-ra-lee, too-ra-lee, sing too-ra-lee, 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 yay. One evening quite early they camped on the Platte. 'Twas nearby the road on a green shady flat. Poor Bessie, quite tired, lay down for repose, and I sat and gazed at his Pike County roads. Too-ra-lee, 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 sing too-ra-lee, 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 yay. They soon reached the desert where Bessie gave out, and down on the sand she lay rolling about, while weeping great tears looked on in surprise. Said Bessie, get up, you'll get sand in your eyes. Too-ra-lee, 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 sing too-ra-lee, 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 yay. The rooster ran up and the oxen all died. The last piece of bacon that morning was fried. Poor Ike got discouraged and Bessie got mad. The dog wagged his tail and looked doubtfully sad. Too-ra-lee, 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 sing too-ra-lee, 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 yay. The Alkali Desert was burning and hot, and Nike decided to leave on the spot. My dear old Pike County, I'll go back to you. Said Betsy, you'll go by yourself if you do. Too-ra-lee, 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 sing too-ra-lee, 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 yay. They swam the wide rivers, they crossed the tall peaks. They camped on the prairies for weeks and for weeks, but hunger and rattlers and big swords of dust determined to reach California or bust. Too-ra-lee, 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 sing too-ra-lee, too-ra-lee, too-ra-lee,
fun and excitement for more than 100 years. The game has gone through many changes in rules and equipment during those years. The first game of baseball as we know it today was played in Woking, New Jersey in 1846. The New York Nine beat the New York Knicks 90-1.
In 1848, gold was discovered at Sutter's Mill, Northern California. As you might expect, many people began coming to California in search of their fortune. They were called 49ers.
Eureka! There's gold in them there hills.
The very next year, California became the 31st state, and Jamaica became part of Riverside County.
The Butterfield Overland Stagecoach coming west from St. Louis, Missouri stopped in Temecula and only operated for a few years because the Great Battle of the Civil War interfered with the route.
One of the reasons the Civil War was fought because most southern states wanted to own slaves, and most northern states wanted to outlaw slavery. With the help of many brave people like Harriet Tubman, slaves from the south ran away to the north where they knew they could be free. Here's a few words from Harriet Tubman.
I'm Harriet Tubman. I was born a slave. When I was 29 years old, I ran away to Philadelphia because Pennsylvania was a free state. Over the next 10 years, I helped more than 300 slaves escape to freedom, including my own family.
These runaway slaves traveled on the Underground Railroad, which was really not a railroad at all, but a network of safe houses and hiding places for escaping slaves.
The Northern Star was our guide on a dangerous trip. The constellation, the Little Dipper, which we call the Dreaming God, pointed to the North Star, our guide to freedom.
The Civil War between the northern and southern states lasted 4 years. The North won and all the states became free slaves. During the war, Abraham Lincoln.
I'm Abraham Lincoln. In giving freedom to the free, or giving freedom to the slaves, we ensure freedom to the free. This nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom. The government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth.
The Civil War was especially sad because it divided families and neighbors. Fathers fought sons, brothers fought brothers. Can you imagine the women and the children watching the road to see if their father, son, or brother would ever come home again? 600,000 men died during the Civil War.
Hurrah, we'll give 'em a hearty
1861 to 1982 was a quiet time in Temecula. The town grew a little though. Lewis Wolf opened a store by what is now the Texaco station on Margarita Road. He also became postmaster. The Temecula School District was formed, and the ever-busy Lewis Wolf was the district's first clerk.
A very sad thing happened to the Temecula Native Americans. Because of a legal problem, they were made to leave their land and were taken to the hills south of the Temecula River.
This land later became the Pechanga Indian Reservation. As an old timer said,
They just dumped them there. They just dumped them. The period following the Civil War, called Reconstruction, was a very painful time for the people of the South. They were forced to rejoin the Union of the United States of America.
it was a very painful time for the Native Americans as well. Many were being forced off their land and reservations, just as they were in Temecula. In 1863, work was started on a railroad, which was stretched from Nebraska to California. The Transcontinental Railroad workforces met in Utah. A golden spike joined two rails. By 1882, 11,500 miles of track was built in the USA.
Temecula also had its share of railroad tracks. Using large train crews, the California Southern Railroad completed its line from National City to Temecula through the treacherous granite walls of Temecula. With the arrival of the railroad, the town of Temecula became established town. One of the first buildings, the Wealthy Hotel, was built to house those who worked on the railroad. Burned down in 1891, it was rebuilt to look the way you see today.
The post office moved from the old Wolf store to Machado store on Main Street. After winning some land in its Temecula livestock, Phil Bowman founded the Temecula Mercantile on Main Street.
1882 to 1891 was a growth period in Temecula. In fact, because of improved transportation, many people are moving west to settle and start communities like Temecula.
The U.S. government created the Homestead Act. If a person could build a house and prove that they could survive, then they were given 160 acres for free. Temecula Valley and the surrounding land became one of the last great cattle ranches in California.
In 1814, Francis Scott Key watched as the British burned the city of Washington in the War of 1812.
He was so thrilled to see the flag still flying after a night of shelling, he wrote down his feelings in a poem.
In 1931, some of his words were put to a tune and chosen to be our national anthem. Please stand and join us in the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Guadalajara Ranch was a pretty peaceful place, the world was not.
In the 1940s and 1970s, the United States was involved in four major wars. In 1918, we were in World War I. From 1941 to 1945, we were in World War II. From 1915 to 1953, we fought in the Korean War. From 1964 to 1972, we fought in Vietnam.
Over here,
The U.S. had a major depression in the 1930s.
In the early 1940s, severe drought in the Midwest turned the area into a giant dust bowl.
Woody Guthrie, a folk singer and writer, wrote this song during a time when many people were losing their homes because they were too poor to make their payments any longer.
Many people like the country atmosphere, popular wineries, and inexpensive housing available in Temecula. In 1989, Temecula became a city. From the 60s to the present, there have been many great changes that have made our country a better place for all citizens.
Women and men of all races can vote and participate in our democracy.
Here are two voices from the recent past to ask us to remember that we are a nation united despite all our differences.
I am John F. Kennedy. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. I am Martin Luther King Jr. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the meaning of its creed, that all men are created equal. Recently, our country has to defend the freedom guaranteed to us through the Constitution.
We are proud of the many men and women in our armed services that are there to protect our nation.
We love learning about Temecula and how it fit into the history of our country. We hope you enjoyed our program